Welcome to part 2 of Grand Theft Auto 3. We're going to finish up Luigi's missions and tackle some of Joey's missions. The job for today is Pump Action Pimp.
Some Diablo scumbag has been pimping his scuzzy bitches in my backyard. Go and take care of things for me. If you need a piece, go around back of Ammunition opposite the subway.
The series staple gun shop Ammunition sells everything that you need, or at least the two items that you need for right now. That will be the pistol and the micro SMG, or the Uzi, whatever you want to classify it as. However, those two weapons are currently locked on the inside. You can still get the pistol though, you just have to go around back, and it's totally free.
Luigi said you'd need a piece, so go around the back of the shop. I left you a 9 in the yard.
A 9, slang for a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. 12 bullets in the chamber, and you can just hold down the circle button in order to keep firing. The aiming system is where the game's antiquity will show a bit. Claude will usually aim at the nearest threat towards him, which is not a problem, that's good. The problem is, the camera will like to do this dynamic shift over to the target instead of immediately snapping to the target. This might cause a lot of frustration for newer players. Vice City would fix that camera issue. You'll notice a dramatic difference between how Tommy gets his eyes on target and how Claude gets his eyes on his target. Anyway, here's the pimp. There's 2 of them, and our job is to assassinate them. So let us do just that. What I do is I ram the car and I goad this first guy into getting out. He will have an Uzi, and I just step away in order to shoot him from afar. Be careful though, because the other car is still active and he will attempt to run you over. Just remember to press square in order to dive out of the way if he does that. Pick up the Uzi from the slain pimp, go back to the car you were just in, and do a drive-by shooting on the other guy's car. The submachine gun is the only weapon that is allowed to be shot out of a moving vehicle, which is weird because starting in GTA 4 you can also do that with a pistol, because it's another small handgun, so I would think that you would do that in this game too, but oh well. There's the titular pump action pimp, and he's no more. Drive-by shooting from the car is a good way to counter a shotgun. Be careful with shotguns, because as you know, shotguns are fucking lethal. Especially in the earlier GTA games where you can get knocked down by a shotgun very easily. Definitely the second most powerful weapon in GTA 3, right next to the M16. Anyway, that pager is letting me know that the pistol has been unlocked, which is a good start out weapon. The pistol is really good. You don't need to go too crazy for this part of the game. You don't need a rocket launcher just yet. Rocket launcher! Anyway, this mission is the Fuzzball.
Policeman's ball is being held at the old school hall near the Callahan Bridge, and they'll be looking for some old school action. Now, I got girls all over town walking the street. Get them to the ball. They'll make a bundle. Get as many of them as you can before the cops drink away their green.
Alrighty then, Claude is playing chauffeur for prostitutes. Man, Claude, your life went down the shitter. You need to collect up to 4 women at once. There are 8 women on the map, you only need 4 in order to pass the mission. You can pick up those extra 4 if you want extra cash, but you don't have to. The best way to get more ladies is if you have a 4-door car like the Perennial, the car I'm in right now, or a Kuruma. Or if you just want everybody to jump into your vehicle, get a coach bus. I said that with a hint of sarcasm, if you can even tell that my voice was being sarcastic because I'm flat. But you can get a bus, get all 8 girls to stockpile in that bus, and just take them to the police station in less than 2 minutes. A rainy junkyard is a weird place for a woman to be at 6:31 in the morning. Oh god, this is a really fucked up city. It was even a tagline for the game itself. I remember looking at the back of the box and it saying, "Welcome to Liberty City, the worst place in America." And There are very few taglines that are completely accurate to the game itself, and oh my god, was this actually accurate. Not only was the back of the box stating that you're on a revenge quest, but you're also the target for people who want to kill you too. You backstab them and they backstab you. It's a vicious cycle in this fucked up Liberty City, which is based off of New York, by the way. A very, 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 very scaled down New York, to the point where I still can't tell if this is New York or not. At least this island, it looks more like Philadelphia, but maybe that's just me. I guess this island in general is just a mishmash of East Coast cities mixed with Midwestern cities like Chicago and Detroit. And then once we get to the other island, that's just straight up Manhattan. I do appreciate GTA 3's bleak atmosphere. This game was unfortunately delayed, but it wasn't because it wasn't finished. It was actually finished and was about to release, but unfortunate circumstances and the 9/11 attacks had to force a delay. This game was originally supposed to be even grittier, but some of those scenes and scenarios were cut due to respect. And this was a while before the hot coffee mod of San Andreas. This game had to cut a lot. It cut a couple of missions involving planes. It even cuts the word terrorist and terrorism. And I don't know if it's true, but I think there were originally supposed to be school buses in this game. I do respect Rockstar for taking the tragedy into account, even if we don't know if the cut content would have made the game better or worse. We'll never know unless this new definitive edition puts the cut content back into the game, but we'll have to wait and see what the definitive edition does. So yeah, GTA as a whole is no stranger to cut content, even if it's San Andreas or this game or even Vice City has some cut content. It is either due to outside circumstances or just lack of time, I guess, because these games are huge. And it's honestly astonishing how quickly these games came out and how good they are. GTA 3 was in 2001, Vice City literally came out in 2002, the year after this game. If even that, I think it was just 11 months and some change. And look how good that game is. If you think this game is good, GTA... Oh, I fucking flipped. Wow. What was I saying? Oh yeah, GTA Vice City. That game's a classic, you should play it. It's even more of a classic than this game. And San Andreas, oh boy. Talk about an improvement over the first two. And it's kind of weird of me saying because I like Vice City more for some reason. It's the DuckTales problem. I like DuckTales 2 a lot, and it's a better game, but I prefer DuckTales 1 because it's more iconic. That's the same problem I have with Vice City and San Andreas. I love both of those games, but if you told me, hey, I'm holding a gun to your head, choose which game or I shoot you, I'll probably choose Vice City, because that game is precious to me and I grew up with that one. I grew up with San Andreas too, but only by proxy. You see, I was not allowed to play that one growing up for some reason, even though I was allowed to play 3 in Vice City. Yeah, you make sense of that. So, my brothers, they played that a lot, and I get to watch them. And I was jealous. But I was also intrigued because the game really looked good. And I also took the opportunity to sneak the game a couple of times when my mom's back was turned. Sorry, Mom. You're probably not watching this video. Oh, I didn't get all of the girls, but I did get 7 out of 8, which is good enough. 3,500 in the bank. That's it for Luigi's missions. Now onward to Joey's missions, which are a bit harder. Wait, why do I still have this chick in the car? Get out of here, please! I don't want to be arrested for kidnapping. And she took some of my cash with her. At least use that money to buy a milkshake for me. God.
Hey, I'm bored. When you gonna drill me?
In a moment, sweetheart. I got a little business to take care of. I got a little job for you, pal. The Farrelly brothers have owed me money for too long and they need to be taught some respect. Lips Farrelly is stuffing his fat face in the St. Mark's Bistro, so steal his car and take it to Eightball's bomb shop up in Harwood. You know Eightball, right? Once he's fitted it with a bomb, go park the car where you found it. Then sit back and watch the whole show. But hurry up, he won't be eating forever.
The voice acting in this game is pretty decent. It's somewhere in the middle. It's not Resident Evil 2 Mega Man X4 bad, but it's also not Metal Gear Solid good. It's just average. But the cool thing about GTA 3 is that there were some pretty big actors behind the voices. You got Kyle MacLachlan, Frank Vincent, and Cynthia Farrell to name a few. And this is only the beginning. The next game would have better voice acting with a much more star-studded cast. Now come on, Ray Liotta is the main character, Burt Reynolds, Danny Trejo, Robert Davi, who played one of my favorite Bond villains of all time in License to Kill. How can I say no to that cast? Let me talk about the mission before I gush over San Andreas voice acting and how Samuel motherfucking Jackson is the best villain of all time in that game. What you're supposed to do is take this car to Eightball for him to rig it with a bomb, or set up us the bomb as a Sega Genesis game from 1990 would put it. But I crashed, therefore I have to go to the paint spray and repair this because the victim I'm trying to assassinate will become highly suspicious and probably not get into a car he did not damage. And here's the paint spray. It's pretty close to Luigi's, you just have to drive down the street and there you are. It also gets cops off your tail. Now, the police star system, I'll go into a bit more detail when it becomes noticeable, because it will be an inevitability to run from the police in a game like this. Now that the car's been repaired, I can take it to Eightball's shop and rig this thing to blow. Now here's a little history about Eightball. His real name is unknown, but it's assumed that he got that nickname because his dad played a lot of pool. He was a hustler. He appears in GTA 3, GTA Advance, and GTA Liberty City Stories. Basically any game that takes place in Liberty City and that's not in the new universe with Nico Bellic or Michael DeSanta, that's where Eightball is. Eightball was arrested and convicted on 85 counts of owning a firearm without a license. Jeez. Although in a Liberty City article, it was stated that Eightball was arrested at his home/garage in Harwood and that a police officer poured a pan of boiling fat onto his hands. Also jeez. After being convicted, the decision was made to transfer him along with the bank robber Claude and the old Oriental gentleman, more on him later, to the police station in Portland View. And now we're in the present day and Eightball's helping Claude out. He's got all these connections to the mafia, mainly Luigi. He and Luigi were old pals that go way back, and they did favors for each other. Eightball's specialty is
Hey y'all, he's no good.
making homemade explosives. Yeah, that makes sense. The car bombs do make reappearances in other GTA games, mainly Vice City and the one on the GBA. And I'm trying desperately to try not and say GTA on the GBA because that is a tongue twister, and try saying that 10 times fast. And I would love to play the radio here because this game does have really good music. Not as good as Vice City or San Andreas, but it still has good music, but I don't know how the copyrights are with this.
Chunky Lee Chong is pushing Spank for some new gang from Colombia or Colorado or something, I'm not really sure. Who needs details? Anyway, he's got a noodle stand down in Chinatown. That rat has sold his last stir fry. I want you to take him out. If you need a piece, go around back of Ammunition opposite the subway. Sort yourself with a 9. You know where it is, right? Well, remember, just watch your back in Chinatown. It's Triad territory.
Triad territory. You do not want to dick around in Chinatown. The gangsters down there will have baseball bats and pistols at their disposal. So the mission I don't have a choice of whether or not I can take it, I just take it, is to get into Chinatown, take out Chunky Lee Chong, and quickly get out before things heat up. This mission could be really simple. Just run up to him and shoot him a bunch of times in the back with your pistol. Ignore all the other gangsters around you, they'll just slow you down. Or if you want, you could just kill them after you kill Chunky Lee Chong. Who you calling an asshole? Asshole? Now, the Triad fish fans are stupidly quick despite their size. I like these things. You can use them as battering rams, pretty much.
Alright, we're gonna hit the payroll van. It leaves the edge of Chinatown every day. Bullets won't even dent the van's armor, so get a car and ram it off the road. Now hit it hard, and the punk-ass security guard should bail. Then take it to the warehouse at the docks, and my guys are gonna take over from there. Now it won't be doing its rounds all day, so don't hang around.
It was a good thing I got this fish fan. Anyway, the goal of this mission is to ram the security van off the road. You're going to need a clunky vehicle for this. A fire truck, a fish van, hell, even the coach bus. That will do major damage on the security van. You want to be careful though, because the more you ram into this vehicle, the more stars you get. And the police in this game can be brutal. Depending on how many stars you get, that is. 2 stars is not too bad, but once you get to 3 stars, they can be kind of aggressive. Don't let the cops get to your door and pull you out of the car. That's an instant busted, and you will be taken to jail. Your weapons will be confiscated, and some of your money will be taken too. The number of stars that are lit up indicates the hostility of the police force trying to kill your ass. So, 1 star, the police will start chasing you, and they won't shoot at you yet. They'll just try to bust you, and they'll get into fistfights with you in the moonlights. 2 stars, the police will start shooting at you. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. How did my car burst into flames before he did? Oh well. 2 stars, the police will start shooting at you, in which case, you have to start running now. 3 stars is the search helicopter, 4 stars will send in SWAT, 5 stars being the FBI, and 6 stars is where Jason Frutnick tries to kill you with a tank. Yeah, the National Guard comes in. If you manage to steal a tank on 6 stars and get it to a safe point, and save it in a garage, oh trust me, much fun will be had. Oh, that was a gross sounding squish. This game is surprisingly tamed, which is weird because I remember GTA 3 being a lot more violent than this, but maybe it's a Mandela effect. And this game did come out 20 years ago where the gore effects were not up to par with, say, Resident Evil or Mortal Kombat at the time. Now we have to drive the security van to the lockup, which is pretty easy because these cops don't do shit. Like, they're trying to slow me down, but they're just getting swatted away because I'm in a big-ass van and they're in tiny-ass cop cars. Wow, good job, officer. You just killed that pedestrian. How do you feel about yourself? You know, people want to make a big deal and controversialize? Well, fuck it, that's a word now. They want to make this serious into a controversy, which sometimes it is, for good reason, but other times it's just so damn fun, you know? A game where you're running around wreaking havoc and just having fun doing it. This game and all the other GTA games do it perfectly. And so does Bully, but then again, Bully's just a G-rated GTA game. Or did I say G-rated? T-rated. T-rated GTA game. Alright, time for the last mission of this video. It is Cipriani's chauffeur.
Yeah, no, Tony, I've tuned her real sweet. She purrs, you know what I mean? Oh, here's the guy I was telling you about. Alright, listen, this guy, he ain't Italian and he's no mechanic, but he could get things fixed. This is Pop's Capo, Tony Cipriani.
Hey, I'm Tony Cipriani.
Take him to Mama's restaurant at St. Mark's, alright? Now listen to me. I'm planning a job that needs a good driver, so drop by sometime later, okay?
Okay, kid, drive me to the laundry in Chinatown first. I got a bit of business to take care of. Those washerwomen ain't been paying their protection money. And watch the car, Joey just fixed this junk heap, so no fancy crap, okay?
No fancy crap, eh? I think you're onto something there, Tony. The goal of this mission is to take Tony to Chinatown. There's this laundromat that owes him protection money, and he's coming to collect it. Laundromats were usually used as fronts for more illegal activities from the Mafia. You can blame Al Capone for that.
Wait here. Keep the engine running. This ain't a social call.
Oh, Christ. Never bring a bat to a gunfight, Cipriani.
It's a Triad ambush! Get us out of here, kid!
And just like that, we're already in the clear. The Triads don't really try to chase you down. There were 3 guys outside the shop and that was it. I would go into Tony's biography, but we're running out of time for this video, so I'll just save it for next part. He is a really interesting GTA character.
The Triads think they can mess with me. The Triads. With me. Drop by later and we'll give them something to launder. Their own blood-stained clothes.
I'm surprised he's even still walking. He got shot in the back like 3 times. But then again, GTA characters are made of titanium or adamantium or whatever the fuck they're made of. Oh cool, the Uzi's now in stock. Yeah, that's a good weapon right there. Anyway, that's going to be the end of part 2 of GTA 3. Tune in for part 3 where we finish off Joey's missions and get started on Tony's missions.